Welcome to the Wall Street update for Thursday's October 3rd report. Hello, Vegas.
Hey, Jim. How is everyone today?
Well, we
Well,
weren't we weren't as excited as we was yesterday, were we?
no, we weren't. And let me tell you what's happening because a lot of people sometimes wonder what the hell's going on in the market. So just to give a quick update, obviously the bond year rates, the 10-year bond rates rose to the highest in 7 years at 3.22%. And that obviously affected the markets. Also, there was the chatter about the tech sector was getting hurt because of the China using spy chips on servers in Apple and Amazon. And this obviously affected the tech sector, and also the China market was down too today, 25%. One of the analysts was saying that we're in a full blown trade war with China as well, which will hit the U.S. company earnings, especially the tech sector, very hard. So there's a lot of things that were down today. I mean, obviously the Dow was down, the S&P 500 was down, the QQQ, the Russell 2000. So the markets were kind of like really choppy. So we're going to talk about some trades today that didn't go well, and also talk about some other ones that actually are going to do well or that we're looking at. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim. And also, just to mention, whatever you've experienced today with the market choppiness, you can look to anticipate something maybe like this again tomorrow. So just, FYI, I mean, it could change, but hey, you know what? Just giving you a bit of a heads up. So I'm just going to turn it over to Jim. And the first thing we're going to talk about today is the one that we love to hate, and the one that we actually hate now is HMNY.
Yep, HMNY. Well, yesterday we were really excited about the news that came out. They raised $65 million last month to run the business, so it put a lot of people's minds that this was going to be a bullish trade today. Well, it ran up real good yesterday. It hit a high of, I think it was around 5 cents, and then pulled back.
Yeah.
And we kept some shares and swung it overnight. And we were watching the action last night, and man, I was up like $800 on this stock at one time. It ran up to 5.6, and it did the same thing. It pulled back a little bit, which we thought was a healthy correction. And we were still bullish on this stock. And then it ran up, it pulled back to that 3.3 level, 3.7 level, and it bounced back up and went up to that 5. So I'm sitting here going, all right, we're off to the races again. And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing that they have this offering that came out on the 1st. And I'm going, nah, that can't be, man. They can't be doing another offering after what happened, the experience they had last time. And I just kind of blew it off. And then the stock started to drop a little bit. So I was still kind of bullish. I thought we were just going to have another healthy pullback. And I got out of this trade first thing in the morning. A lot of people didn't because they thought we were going to run it on up. It was going to keep running. But I just decided to push the trigger and get out. And I went ahead and bought some more shares at a lower price. And that was right around 4 cents because that's where my support was. And then bam, the thing just tanked. So I'm sitting here and I bought a little bit more and I cost averaged down and I tried to get back some of my profit, but I took about a $300. I made 400 this morning on it when I flipped it, and then I lost about 300 on it. So I'm very negative on this stock now. I'm not as happy as I used to be. I'm going to take it completely off my watch list and never play it again. And that's
You know
HMNY.
what? And you know what? I actually had my position that I swing traded from yesterday. And you know what? This morning it was up slightly this morning, and I could have actually taken profits. And then I thought, okay, let me see what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes based on the chart. And boy, that chart fooled me. And the next thing you know, the stock pulled back, and I had to just cut the trade. And I took a loss myself for about over $2,000. So I had a serious position in here, and boy, that was just not a fun way to start my day. I was not a happy trader first thing in the morning. So I actually took a break when that happened, and I had to refocus myself. And, I got to tell you that whenever we have shitty trades, nothing wrong with like taking that breather and taking a time out for yourself and just, whatever time you need to just kind of recharge yourself and come back refreshed, because no two ticker is going to be the same as the one before. And you can't think negatively with your trading, because really it is a mental game. And, I had to make sure that my attitude was going to be positive for my next setups that I was in. So I can appreciate and understand if other people were upset as well. So we hear you, we feel you, and we are with you.
Yep.
So on to the next one, Hsgx. Well, that was an interesting one because we were all excited about this one today. This one opened at the market hours, 9:30 this morning, right out of the gate, opened at 68. The call was active around 70 cents. People were all excited because this got to $1, kept going, and the volume was great. It actually even rotated the float one full circle, and we're thinking, wow, this can go higher. And it's kind of like one of my favorite setups. And unfortunately, the stock went as high as $1.43. And I was actually thinking it was going to go maybe to 150, 155, and even 165 if the continuation of the volume could come through. But it didn't happen. It pulled back. There were so many opportunities. Jim called I think at least 10 different pullback opportunities, and people scalped it all day. And he'll talk about that in a second. But unfortunately, the stock had an offering tonight. And let me tell you, I closed the trade green, but certainly not for the profits I should have taken earlier in the day. And, lesson for me. I mean, I'm not a perfect trader. So, at the end of the day, I make mistakes too. So, I'm just really pissed off at this company because they knew Hsgx. We're talking to you. They knew that they were going to have an offering today after hours. And, I think the Securities Commission should have a rule that if you're going to have an offering on a stock, I mean, they should actually have it announced, in the morning. I don't think it's really fair to people or traders to trade stocks and then get an offering at the end of the day. It sucks. It happens. This is not the first. We've experienced this before, but I don't know. I don't know why they do it at the end of the day. It's just not fun. So, anyways, I'm done with my rant. I won't be trading that one for a while. I'm just happy I closed it green, not as green as I should have, but I hope no one got caught in any losses with this stock. Right, Jim?
That's right. And there's a couple things I want to talk about this one here. Yesterday we were at 57 cents on this thing. So I want people to keep in mind when you have like a 300% run from 57 up to 143, you need to start thinking about taking some profit and getting out of it because they're going to pull back. And there's plenty of evidence how it did it today. It pulled right back to that 200 SMA, which I was calling a strong buy. And where this little blue cloud is where one of the positions that I flipped real fast in the room live. I kept calling these bounces up off the 200 SMA. And there at about around the end of the day, I was telling people, okay, I'm done with it because, I flipped this thing more than my average of 3 flips a day on a stock. And I have a 3 times charm rule. But today was kind of a day where you want to kick back and you want to look for bargains and stuff. So it was a fun day for me. But for others, it wasn't no fun because they don't know how to experience days like this. And I'm the pullback kid, so I like playing these pullbacks. And like Vegas said, give it an offering after hours, especially on a bullish day like this. It just kills a lot of traders and gives them negative sentiment. So that's basically all I really want to talk about that. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Sorry,
I'm,
my little puppy's barking there.
no, he's a sweetie.
He's a little cute little Malteser. He's
So
only 5 months.
we really got a surprise for you on this next one, Vegas.
Oh yeah. So oh God. So hopefully you guys can understand this particular company here. This you'll see this company here that we all know about called IGC.
Yep.
So Jim's gonna show you guys an article. So the rumor now is that this company is a joke. This company's fake. I've kind of heard that for a bit, but I've never really researched the company a little further. I actually was reading all the PRs and all that, and so when I read a PR, I mean, I believe what's written, and I was never looking to hold this forever and ever, and I'm not even in the trade at this time. We've day traded it, swing traded it, but I don't have a position currently. But the rumor is that this company is a fake. And Jim has an article there. He could probably show you a picture of the address of where it's located in Washington, D.C. And boy, oh boy, that's not looking like a professional company,
They need to
is
paint
it?
the office a little bit. They need,
Looks like a barn.
yeah, need to mow the yard, and cut the weeds.
Yes.
They do have a window air conditioner though. That makes it a multi-million-dollar company. So IGC we had a lot of fun with. I mean, we ran it all the way up to the top, and I'm going to put the chart in the window right here. So we were bluffed again, and I'm going to put this on a 20-day, and it's selling off. So, this thing ain't going to be no good. The shorts are going to be happy. They've finally got their day. I noticed it was coming down yesterday, and probably everybody knew it was going down by then. So it's already past my first support. I'm not going to play this off the 200 at all. I'm just going to let it soak tomorrow, and I'll probably take it off my watch list unless I see the tape moving or something. But IGC is now off of my watch list, and I won't be flipping it anymore. Unless,
So as you can see, we're cleaning up the watch list.
yes, we are. We're making it
Oh,
simple, and we're making it what? Fresh and simple
fresh and
and
simple.
clean.
So clean.
Yep.
And speaking about clean, so I just got to tell you, onto a positive stock. So meat, MEET. So really happy with meat. Meat group had a PR today, and they also had some presentation in New York today at 3:30. And the company actually did announce that, you know, in comparison to last year at the same time, they went from like $0 to like 48 million. So we're like, what? This is really good to know. So we looked at the chart and looked at the weekly and really impressed with the volume bars I was seeing over the last while. So we decided that in chat group we would look to do a swing trade on meat. So we called it like we spotted it around five, the price of 515, but we didn't really take the trade until about 525 ish, 530 ish in that zone. And very pleased with how the stock closed, very strong. And Jim's going to go through the chart, but what I'm looking for in the swing trade, I'm really looking for this stock. First target for me is going to be about $7, and then after that, I'm looking for around 8. So after I get to 7, I'll be selling about 70%, and then I'll be looking to take the rest all the way to as close to 8 as possible. So that's kind of the target I'm looking at, and then Jim can go further if you don't mind, Jim, on the full chart there.
Yeah, I got a year's chart pulled up here, and meat is not one we just discovered yesterday. We've been bullish on meat ever since it's been ranked right around this 275 area. So it's run up, and I mean, we call it out quite a bit in the room, and we call the pullbacks out in the room. Around that 401 area is right where we called the last support on it. You see that triple bottom right there? Well, ever since then, past 2 months, it's had a pretty good little run. It had decent pullback right there to that 50 SMA on the yearly chart daily. And then today we had a pretty good breakout on that news. I mean, this is the news that we've been waiting for it to be profitable. And we run
Correct.
this one, didn't we run this one like with glue there for a while, GLU?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and both of them were on the same kind of sediment there. So this is meat. We're bullish on it. If play a pullback on this thing, you can probably, it's kind of hard, but a low support right around 510, right around that 5. That's where we got in it today, or we mentioned it in a way between that 510. So let's keep an eye on meat, and nice to meet you.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
So after that, so with the other thing that we like to do is we like to look at bottom plays, and one of the group there actually he loves finding bottom plays, and he brought to our attention the chart on Gtxi. So the trade was alerted around $1.38 today as a bottom play. I mean, this used to be, I think, $25. And so people decided to take the trade, and some people are swinging the trade overnight. And so I'm just going to let Jim talk about the chart in details because he also loves finding bottom plays. But this was alerted from someone else in the room and loved the alert they gave. My God, what a great alert.
What's good about knowing traders and finding good traders out there is they give you alerts too. And I would have never saw this today, and I don't think Vegas would have ever saw this if a certain person didn't mention it in the room. So, we're going to pull them up and we're going to look at them. Well, this is your year chart. You can see the big gap down that it had. This sucker was up there around, up there around 23.41, had a high of 25.60, and all of a sudden, bam, dropped on down to a low support. I'm going to change the time frame on this to a daily. You want to look at the tape. Look what happened. This was alerted around 140 to me today, right around close of the day. It was probably alerted earlier, but I started catching attention. I did not get in the trade because I didn't think we were going to see this kind of action. But look at this action after hours. Now, see how it bounced up there to 198, almost hit Vegas's $2. She called this thing at $2 again. Yesterday she was off a penny. Today she was off 2 cents.
I know. I was looking for $2. People were wondering what's the price target overnighter, and I said, well, ideally it would be nice to see $2, but I said, make sure you have after hours access if you're going to hold this
Yep.
overnight, because again, like anything else, I mean, the stock could run, the stock could pull back. I mean, we're just guessing, right, based on the
Yep.
chart.
Now, if I
So
was,
we could be wrong, but so far we're on track here.
she's still holding it, but if I was in this trade, I would be out. There, no questions asked. You're up, yeah, I mean, good 58 cents or wherever you got to 60 some cents. See how when I called that sell, I told maybe get out right here. See how it dipped down to that 50 SMA. That's a good tool that I use for beginner traders, especially putting the 50 and the 200 SMA on a daily 1 minute chart. If you're a beginner, you can play off them pretty easy. So, yep, let's keep that on watch. I think we got a huge gap play on here. Just be cautious. Set your stops if you're up real good on it. The thing's going to pull back a little. I mean, it's got to consolidate up in that on the way up. So that's Gtxi. And we've got one more to give you.
And one more, and the last one for the updates today is definitely one called FPAY. Fpay.
Yes,
And
FPAY.
Flex Shopper.
Insider buying going on this, Vegas.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. One of the members actually mentioned it to us, and actually, she is a girl trader, woman trader, and she mentioned it to me and said, let's notice some price.
You're fading out there a little bit.
Okay, well, there was an insider buying mentioned to me by a woman in the room, and she mentioned that take a look. So I took a look, noticed that there was a previous offering on the stock, and the offering was, I believe, at $1, and so the stock's currently trading under that. So we thought, you know what, this is good for a swing trade, and then Jim can show you there all the insider buying, and they actually bought some nice size shares, as you can see there. They have, one of the individuals bought 200,000 shares. One of them bought 90,000, 75,000, 50,000. So there's a lot of buying insider for that price. So that tells me that they have confidence in the company and they're looking to see that the share price goes back over $1. The other thing too is that the company is obviously involved in a lease to own industry. So what they do is, Jim was talking about brick and mortar companies, and this is actually one of them. They have an e-com platform. They have about 50 million consumers that, obviously that they've done research on that don't have enough money to buy things, electronic goods or furniture. So that's why it's called Flex Shopper. It's a really cool name. So if you can't afford to buy certain things, you go on their website, you pick what you want to buy, and then you basically they finance it for you, and you get the merchandise, and then you just go on a pay like a lease to own your goods. So that's an interesting company, interesting concept, and helps customers buy things that maybe they can't afford all in one shot. And they will go on one of these payment plans with this website from this company. So we'll see what this company has in store for us.
I was just posting the website and showing the audience, what it's kind of like, and it seems kind of interesting. There used to be a company back in the '90s. I can't remember the name of it. Probably one of the first catalogs like this. I bought a few things out of it. Back then, I didn't have no money, so it was easy to finance, and so I kind of remember. I think this is a good deal here, and I'm going to post up the chart a little bit right here. Let me type it in real fast. That's called Fpay.
Yes.
And we're going to pull up
Fpay.
Fpay. That kind of sounds like pig Latin.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they didn't call the company Finance Pay, but
F,
I guess they call it Flex Shopper to give the shopper flexibility to finance their merchandise that they want to buy.
yeah, Fpay Ake Stake is pig Latin. So
Oh,
we had a good little gap down here. I mean, we're sitting at a bottom, so we're bringing it to your attention. We're not telling you to buy it yet, but what we are saying is brick and mortar. I alerted it this week. I think we're going to start seeing them bounce a little bit because of the Christmas season. So this is one that might get a little bit of attention. I think if you get in it around, low support of right around 84, somewhere around there, somewhere in here. Just watch the tape and bring it up to 116. That'll be your first resistance. So once it hits that 116 mark, that's where you want to decide if you want to go ahead and continue on up. You want to keep an eye on the tape and on the level 2 and just keep this one on watch. Vegas and I are going to have it on our watch. We're not in it yet, but we're going to look for a position and we're going to watch the tape because we just had it brought to us and we need to check it out.
yeah, no,
And
FPay I'm actually
oh,
in.
and I just read. I
I'm
just
in.
Yeah. Oh, you are.
Yeah, FPay I'm in as a swing at 88 cents.
Oh, good.
So,
It had a public closing of a public offering back on 9/28, so that's some good
right.
news for that.
Yeah, so that's why, that's why the price is where it is now.
Yep.
On the stock because of that. I mean, so the fact that it's currently priced lower than the insider is why I'm taking advantage of the dip. So thank you to my woman trader brought it to my attention. That's great. So
Yep. I'm saying maybe if this thing pulls back a little bit, 84 might be a good little spot, maybe 78. But we're sitting here at the bottom. This thing's going to move up, so just keep a good eye on it.
exactly.
Yep. And
So that's all for now. So we've given you guys three stocks to really pay attention to. So MEET, GTXI, and FPAY. And on that note, I'm signing off from the Wall Street Update. I want to thank everyone for your support, your thank yous, your beautiful messages. I know some of you have requested that we do a little overview on cutting losses fast or when to get out of a stock. So Jim and I are going to work on putting something really good for you guys to really help you, because too many people stay in trades too long and they don't cut losses fast enough, or they're not even sure when to get out because they fear they're going to miss out on the move. So we understand that. I still make those mistakes myself. So it happens to all of us. So we're going to put together something really good to help you guys. So thank you for the suggestion. If you guys have any other things to recommend or suggest, please tell us. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and we will be happy to put some more content for you to help the trading community. So thank you, everyone. We love you all, and we love stocks.
we do love stocks, and we appreciate